You're not live until
Oh
this
no.
box turns on.
Hello. We are. We are. I do believe we are live. We have been live for a whole 9 seconds. And I am. So it doesn't matter what that little box shows.
That's what they see.
Oh, okay. Hi, welcome, 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 and good morning. It is Thursday, May 4th, and may the 4th be with you. And I don't know if you've noticed or not, but Valerie, awesome, you made it. All right. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but I have a little guest star with me today. Since it is May 4th, and I mean, doesn't every 58-year-old woman have a stuffed animal always just hanging out, ready to join the lives? But I have Grogu, and this is my little baby Yoda that I found at Target, oh gosh, probably a couple of years ago. And I just, this was me. Let's paint a scene. All right, let's just go back a couple of years and paint the scene. Here I am, I'm walking down Target and I see across the aisle, I see across the store this baby Yoda. I let out a scream, ah! And I go running, pick it up, and I'm like, you and I are going to be together forever. And truthfully, he's been hanging out with me for ever since. And if I watch something scary on Netflix, if I do a new sort of series or something like that, that is my scary movie watching buddy. So I'm super excited. I'm super excited to have everybody with me today. All right. So what are we going to be talking about today? All right, since it is May 4th, and again, may the 4th be with you, it's all about Star Wars. I thought maybe we would just look back on kind of I don't know, where you were the first time you saw something Star Wars. I mean, for me, being 58, it's a little bit more wow, it was so revolutionary. It was so mind boggling. If you're younger, you're like, yeah, it's just another movie. It's kind of cool. But, again, when you're a little bit older, that was pretty cool. And also, too, we're going to be giving you a couple of updates. I'm going to give you an update on my boy crush. I'm going to give you an update on some products. We're going to be talking about having two left feet. We're going to be talking about how it just feels to always be that awkward person in the room, because that's always been me. And then we'll check and we'll see what's going on YouTube. We're going to check and see what's trending on TikTok. And then I'm going to do a tattoo tip of the day. So let's just jump right into it. And we are going to start. Claudia, happy Thursday. We're going to start again, let's just address the Star Wars Baby Yoda subject that we're doing right now. All right, where was I when Star Wars came out? Oh gosh, I was a young gal I was probably 19. I was working, sounds like a fantastic lineup. Thank you, Valerie. Oh, and also too, I moved things around a little bit. I actually have a second monitor, so I'm going to be able to start showing you outfits that I wore. But if anybody out there has the sound, Valerie, is the sound okay? Claudia, can you hear me okay? Just want to make sure, because again, I move things around. So let's go back. Young gal 19 years old, working at May Company. Now, for some reason, okay, I'm going to be completely honest and transparent with you, because you know what? That's just what I always do. And that's just, I think, what makes me me and what makes me awkward and what gives me those two left feet. But I graduated from high school. Okay, cool. Thank you, Valerie. I graduated from high school and I'm like, okay, well, I got to get a job. Ooh, Sandy, thank you. And so I went to apply to work at May Company. And May Company was a department store. It's not around anymore. But it was the kind of department store back in the 80s where they actually had a hat section for the women, because women of those times used to wear the really cool hats. And we used to go shopping with my grandma so she could get a hat. So anyway, I'm like, I want to work at May Company. And I wanted to work in the jewelry department or the cosmetic department. And I remember sitting there and I'm filling out my application. It says, what department do you want to work in? And kid you not, I, for the life of me, could not spell either jewelry or cosmetics. I don't know why. I had a moment of panic. I'm like, I'm going to spell it wrong. They're not going to think I can, work this job. So I just wrote down dresses. I knew how to spell dresses. It was just the way I was going to be. So they stuck me, or they wouldn't stick me, but the department that I ended up working in was the ladies' mature ladies dress department, where everything was polyester. And I was like, this is not what I wanted. I wanted to be the cool kid in the cosmetics department. I wanted to be the cool kid in the jewelry department. And I remember sitting there in the dress department as I am selling polyester leisure wear. And I would look over at the aisles and I would be like, wow, that could be me. And I was like, but this isn't going to be you, because this is just your life. This is just your lot in life. And this is just the way it always is. So here I am, a young gal, 19, who can't spell to save her life. And I was hearing all of these kind of like things about this great new movie that was coming out. It was revolutionary. The special effects was like nothing you had ever seen before. And I'm like, wow, this is really cool. I'm going to have to check this out. And I still remember to this day, you know what, going to the movie theater, it was when it was so different than what it is now. But I remember going to the movie theaters and just sitting there and being like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. I had a huge crush on, him, and now I can't. Han Solo. I had a huge crush on Han Solo. And so I was just like, wow, this is really cool. And it just brings me back to that time where I just remember, again, being so, I don't know, I thought the world was just so cool. And it is still cool. But it's always me that ends up kind of like, I don't know. I think it's my awkwardness that puts me on the path that I'm on today. And I'm still on that awkward path. For example, perfect example. Yesterday, I said to the world, I have a boy, or my boy crush is Pedro Pascal. All right. We all know who he is and we all have a crush on him, period. I said his last name wrong. Robert and I were walking Indy, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Today I confessed my love for Pedro Pascal. And he's like, that's not how you say his last name, Mom. And I'm like, what? And he's like, no, you're saying his last name wrong. I'm like, no, he's my boy crush. I know exactly how to say his last name. It's Pedro Pascal. And he's like, no, it's not. And I'm like, what do you mean? No, it's not. You're wrong. So I looked it up and I actually had to YouTube it and I had to Google it. And yes, it is Pedro Pascal. So dear Pedro, if you're out there, my heartfelt sincere apologies. It is already our first little misstep, but I have your last name down right. And there you go. But it is like I said, it is that kind of like, you know what, leave it up to me to have things like that happen. Because my universe, my life, everything about me is always, it's always having two left feet. And that's what the name of this morning show is all about. And it's about having two left feet. It's about being that awkward person in the room. And instead of being shy and Sandy, love it when our children correct us. I know, and they seem to do that a lot. But I remember being younger and sitting there in the dress department and just being like, why is my life like this? Why am I always the one who can't Pedro did it. Moon Mo says Pedro did an amazing job in the Last of Us show. Yes, he did. And you know what? I've had a crush on him since Game of Thrones, but this one pushed me over the edge. But it brings me back to like that just whole, I don't know, again, I'm always the awkward one. For example, when my boys were younger and I worked a second job, I was a wine host. I used to host wine tasting tours where I would get on a bus with 30, 40 people. They would drive around a wine country and I would be their host. I'd be like, and looking over here, you can see this, and looking over there, you can see that. Now, I was always the host that was marching to the beat of her own drum. All right. Great company. And they kind of let us just let our personalities shine. But all the other hosts were very like, well, this wine has this amount of this in it and it tastes like that. And if you swirl it and you snip it and you spit it, you're going to get kind of this taste. That was their style. My style was, hey, who wants to hear this song and watch me pole dance? Because I used to dance on the bus, and you know that pole that you have to hold onto to get on the bus? Well, that was me dancing there, and just I was always the one doing things completely opposite. In fact, I was the host who accidentally locked herself in the back of the bus because the bus had storage, and I climbed up there one day on a windy day and the wind blew the door shut and I got locked in the back of the bus, and I had to call the office to tell them to tell the driver to come back and let me out. And it made me kind of think, oh my God, I used to teach pole dancing. You know what? I don't know how well I did it, but they had been drinking and they really liked it. And really, truthfully, that's all that mattered. But it got me to thinking, and I was thinking about it this morning as I was ready to talk to you about this subject, is the real question to me is, let me see how I put it. My question is, do these misadventures find me or do I find them? Do I have the kind of energy where I attract weird things to happen, or am I making the weird things happen? And it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like fighting the universe. It's kind of like fighting like your personality. And my personality is very much so to be that one person who does things completely different. And I think since I do that, I kind of attract these misadventures coming my way. And I have learned in my age to embrace these misadventures as not so much like, why do these happen to me? But to be more like, this is so awesome that these cool things are happening to me and they're not happening to anybody else. And I really wanted to address the awkward people out there. If you feel awkward, if you feel, again, like you're that one person standing in a room and you don't fit in, I think it is something to celebrate. I think it is something to absolutely embrace in yourself and be like, I'm okay being different. And being different, being quirky, being whoever you are is amazing. And I don't want anybody to ever be like, I don't fit in, so I'm wrong, or I don't fit in, so there must be something wrong with me. And I don't think there's something wrong with you. I think it makes you special in a beautiful sort of way. And I think we need to talk about that more. Again, like I said on Monday, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And when you are that quirky person and when you are that person who just doesn't quite fit in, it really puts a lot of seeds of doubt in your mind as to what is wrong with you. And I'm telling you right now, there's nothing wrong with you. You are exactly who you're supposed to be. So I have always marched to the beat of my own drum. I've always had two left feet. And again, it's something at my age that I absolutely embrace and I love. In fact, I have a tendency sometimes, I don't know how I do this, but sometimes I leave the house with two left shoes. And that actually happened to me one time when I was younger. After I stopped working at May Company and I learned how to spell a little bit better, I got to have a job at a bank. I loved that job. I loved being a banker. It was kind of precise. It was cool. I started as a drive-through teller. I worked my way up. I was actually a branch secretary in downtown La Jolla, which was super cool. And then from there, I became, what did I do? Oh, I became like I worked in the new accounts. And part of that journey is I ended up in a branch in Pacific Beach. Now, if you're not familiar with where I grew up in Encinitas, which is a small beach community. It's not so small anymore, but it was a small beach community right outside of San Diego. So I lived in Encinitas and I commuted to Pacific Beach, which was just about, with the traffic, probably like 45 minutes away. Now, being that I always seem to be running 5 minutes late, I was running more than 5 minutes late. And I knew I was going to run into traffic. So I have, my little business attire on. I'm feeling like a little branch secretary, kind of like Melanie Griffith in Working Girl. I kind of had that vibe. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm running late. I'll just put my shoes on when I get to work. So I grabbed my shoes because I wore like little pumps. I had a black pair and I had a navy blue pair because you know what? That's what us gals had back in the 80s. So I grab my heels, I throw them in the car, and I commute all the way down to Pacific Beach. Now, Pacific Beach is a little beach community in San Diego, but you have to drive down the freeway, you get off the freeway, and then you kind of snake your way through Pacific Beach to right towards the ocean. It was right down there. So I get to work, I'm like, oh my gosh, I made it. All right, I am awesome. I made it on time. I go to grab my shoes to put them on, to walk in, to report to work, to open those new accounts. Because again, I was just a working gal in the 80s. And I looked down and I had 2 left shoes. I had grabbed my black left heel and my blue left heel. So when I say I had 2 left feet, I literally had 2 left feet. And I'm like, what am I going to do? I mean, I, for the life of me, tried to cram my right foot into one of those left shoes. And no matter how hard I tried, it was not going to work. For one thing, they were pumps. Now, had they been like a sandal or a flat shoe, I definitely could have squeezed my foot in there and just gotten away with it. But no. No, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it all the way. And they were pumps. So I was sitting there and I'm like, what am I going to do? The only thing I could do is I walk in, I went to my branch manager. I'm like, I have to go back home. And she's like, why do you have to go back home? I'm like, because I have 2 left feet. And she's like, how did you do that? And I'm like, yeah, it's a long story. I'll have to tell you later. So I had to get back in my car, drive another hour home, grab the right shoe, and then come back. And that's always been a pivotal story in my life. That has always been a story that I keep in the back of my head because it kind of just summarizes me as a whole as to kind of how my life has been. Again, my life is really quirky. And I was watching RuPaul's Drag Race last night. Absolutely obsessed with that show. And I was watching season 5 because I went back as far as I could. And I was watching season 5. And Jinx Monsoon won. Oh, if you haven't seen it, sorry. If you haven't seen that series, I'm not going to tell you who wins. But all right, I guess, you know what? It's been out long enough. Oh my gosh, that just made me sweat. I didn't mean to give you a spoiler alert, but she was an amazing, quirky queen. And she didn't really fit in, but she won. And she won because she just stuck to her guns and she was just true to herself. And I thought it was so inspirational and such a great message. And that's one of the things that I wanted to share with you. Yeah, she was amazing. Dawn, she was amazing. And again, so inspirational. And I could connect so much with her. I'm like, I would never be the beauty pageant gal. You know what? I would have been the beauty pageant gal who would be walking down the runway with a sock stuck to the back of her dress. Or, my crown would have fallen off, or my tiara would have been bent. That's who I am. And just watching her through the season and just watching everything really, again, was just driving home that message of just being true to yourself, regardless if you fit in or not, is such a beautiful thing. And again, I just felt really compelled to continue with that message because I think it is an important message that we don't hear enough and we don't tell ourselves enough. Because again, it seems as a society that we're just trying to look a certain way, or we're trying to fit in a certain group, or we are trying to do this, but we never stop and just appreciate who we are. And I really, again, want to reiterate the simple fact that we're allowed to be that person who shows up to work with 2 left feet. And we are allowed to be that person who gets locked in the back of the bus. So that is what I wanted to start off with. And I hope if you heard it and you needed to hear it, that is important to you. And that's that. So coffee mug of the day. What am I today? Today I have Catitude. And this is a little coffee mug that I bought for Brandon once he got Pam. And I think it is awesome. So today I am embracing a Catitude kind of red lip kind of day. See, I got red lips on. And I was getting ready and I was putting my makeup on, and I have a tendency to gravitate towards kind of a nude lip, like kind of a mauve kind of nude lip. And I really do like that. But what I have noticed lately is that if I do like a nude lip, it almost makes my teeth look duller and dingier. And through my makeup journey and through everything that I have researched, I have found that a red lip actually makes your teeth look whiter. So when anybody ever reaches out to me and they're like, hey, Lonni, I'm over 50. Is it okay to wear a red lip? I'm like, absolutely. It's just going to make your teeth shiny and it's going to make it whiter. And I'm always all about, again, just letting yourself go. Do whatever you want. And I thought that the red lip really did well with more of the pink eyeshadow. So it's a red lip Catitude kind of day. And I'm embracing it, and I'm okay with it. And so let's see. All right. So yesterday we pulled the self-love shower affirmation, and this was really good. But today I think we're going to pull a hero's journey dream oracle card, and we're going to see what the universe is telling us today. And again, this is nothing like a tarot reading. This is nothing. I'm not foretelling your future. I'm not foretelling mine. This is something simply nothing more than like a, did I need to think about that kind of thing? So what we're going to do is we're going to shuffle it, and we are going to just see what we need to hear today. Now, again, as always, and I've explained this, I always pick a card without looking because I don't want my conscious mind to pick it. And I pick it with my left hand because, again, my right hand is my dominant hand, and I don't want to consciously pick the card. I want to subconsciously pick the card. And the one that I picked is stop and take in the view. Take stock of the treasures you've earned. See, it's a really pretty, why can't I do this? Really pretty card. So stop and take in the view. All right, so let's see what that has to say. Number 37. Let's see what number 37 is. Because so far, every time we've pulled one of these, they've been pretty spot on. So let's see if we can keep this. Let's see if we can keep this trend up. All right, this says, You might notice that you are stuck in strive drive mode and forget to pause from time to time, look around, and take inventory of the blessings and treasures you have earned and learned along the way. Regular stops to take in the view are a must for sustaining steady progress over the long haul. You have accomplished a great deal, but the real test is whether you can accept the blessings that are a result from your hard work. Can you stop and be filled with appreciation for all you have accomplished thus far? It is now time to be showered with blessings, whether you are deep in the valley or on the mountain peak. Reveal in the rewards of your journey thus far. Quell your worries about the false notion that a revere will make you look weak, complacent, or an egomaniac. In fact, take heart knowing that delighting in love and appreciation will give you the strength to journey further, thus multiplying the gifts that you can share with others. So basically, what it's trying to say is that you need to stop and just look around and see the good work that you've done. I mean, whatever it is, whether it's you did a good job at work, whether you've done a great job raising your children, whatever it is, whatever your path in life is, you need to stop and just be like, good job. And a lot of times we confuse self-love, self-praise, self-appreciation with being egotistical. And that is 100% not what it is. So we definitely need to separate those two ways of thinking. So I think that that's spot on. And if you're doing it to yourself, stop doing it and just give yourself some self-love. Yes, 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 yes. All right. So the other day, I told you all that I tried this e.l.f. Holy Hydration Daily Moisturizer. And I also told you that I wasn't a really big fan because it was sticky. And a lot of you, Courtney, said that you really liked it and that it kind of works as a primer. So I'm like, okay, Lonni, get over the texture and try it again and see what you think. So I have been trying it and I've used it the last couple of days. And what I have noticed is that I am kind of using this more as a priming lotion than an actual like, oh my gosh, it's going to make my skin feel super, super soft kind of daily moisturizer. And it's been interesting. So today I used this. Then I put on the Halo Glow sunscreen, and then I put on my primer. And my makeup is sticking pretty good. It's going to be it feels like it's going to stay on. I mean, it doesn't. Again, I'm trying to learn to love it. Let's just put it that way. And I've noticed too, like I told you the other day, I put on my makeup and it kind of smeared all over my face. I'm trying to find that perfect balance. Again, I'm on a makeup journey. I'm learning as I'm going. And what I was doing is that I think I was over hydrating my face. I think I was putting on too many products because it's like all day long, my makeup was like shifting all over my face. It's like bloop, bloop. And I like, no, I want my makeup to stay where I put my makeup. So I am saving my deeper hydration for the evening, and then I'm doing a little bit more of the primer hydration during the morning routine. And so far, so good. I really do like it. And again, I switched my eyeliner because my eyeshadow, when I was using that as the eyeliner, was definitely just going all over the place. And I'm still on a hunt for blue mascara. I know I need to get the ColourPop one, but I went to Target and they didn't have it. I looked online and I went to Amazon. And I found one from Maybelline, but it's a discontinued mascara. And I'm like, well, if it's discontinued, I don't know how fresh it is. I mean, would it be old mascara? And then I read the reviews, and a lot of reviews said that, while it is blue, it's not like that vibrant cobalt blue, the kind that is just going to be like the kind that I saw on TikTok The kind that I wanted to get from MAC that is sold out, it's not going to be that. And so I'm like, oh, and then I did, Courtney, I did look on Ulta Beauty, and they don't have that many. The one that I did see that I could buy from there is from Dior, and that was like $32. And I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm kind of a cheapskate when it comes to things like that. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to spend $32 for some mascara. But then again, I'm like, well, I can sit here and keep on buying mascara from Target that's not working and throw it away. And before you know it, I've spent $40. So I'm going to look for the blue mascara that that TikTok told me to get. But I'm also going to, oh, Lauren, no, I have not tried Jeffree Star. And you know what? Truthfully, I just found him as a makeup influencer. And I'm intrigued. Let's just put it that way. And I will have to look and see if anything, because he does have blue mascara. Okay. I will definitely check that out, because what I have done is I was just going into the Google search bar and looking for blue mascara, and it was coming up with like two things. And one I've already tried, and that didn't work, because I think it would be, excuse me, I think it would be really pretty just to have like those like really pretty popping blue eyes with that mascara. But again, it's really hard to find one that's not looking just like black mascara, but they say it's blue. All right, so I am still on the hunt for that, but I will find it. You know, that's just a matter of that's just what I'm going to do. I'll find it. If it's out there, I will find it. So yesterday, I told you all that I was going to be taking off and going thrifting, and I did. I went to Angel View Thrift Store here in Temecula, and they had recently like combined two stores into one. So I didn't know if I was going to like it. I didn't know how big it was going to be. And you know what? You just never know going into a store. So I went there, and it was actually really nice. I found some really cute stuff, and I'm going to be showing. I recorded myself while I was there, so I will definitely. Okay, so Lauren says, yeah, Jeffree Star also has different color lipsticks, which you can use as eyeliner on the lids and the waterline too. Interesting. I'm definitely going to have to try that out. That is very, I'll once I'm off here, I'll take a look at that. So I went thrifting and I recorded it, so that should be up tomorrow. And then I'm going to do a try on haul from there, because yes, I did find stuff, because I find stuff every single time. But I want to show you one thing that I found. And look what I found. I found this yesterday for $7.99. And this absolutely reminds me of the 70s. I mean, I used to have this purse in the 70s. And it has an adjustable strap, so I can make it shorter. But I'm going to keep it super long because I want to have it as a crossbody. But I love the stamping on the front with the orange right there. Oops, the orange right there and the birds. And I think that this is just so cute. So this little thing right here, you put it around the little button right there to keep it closed, just like they did in the 70s. And then on the inside, I thought it was super clean on the inside. See the inside? And it's all leather, and it's just, I don't know. I was sitting there and I was checking out, and the lady behind me, she was about my age, and she's like, oh my gosh, what a great find. And I'm like, I know. So I am going to be incorporating this into my crossbody bag collection. And I think it's really cute. And this is just something like for the outfit that I have on today. I think that this would be, you know, just really super cute. It's not super long, but I'm okay with that. And yeah, I thought that this was a really good thrift store find. And I'm always looking for something like this. I found another purse at the exact same thrift store, somewhat like this, in great condition. And I I just knew I had to have it when I found it. And yes, it came home with me. I did. Now, I don't want to tell y'all too much because I do have it on the video, but I did have a pair of shoes that I would have bought had they been in my size. Because I have a weird thing when it comes to buying shoes at a thrift store. I don't know. I think it's because like if I have a pair of pants or a top or sweater jacket, whatever it is, I can wash it, I can dry clean it, and then it feels like it's new. But you buy a pair of shoes and people's feet have been in there. And for me, it's just kind of cringy. And I don't know why, but I always have a hard time thinking I'm going to buy used shoes. Again, it's just it's just the way I think. And I'm trying to get over that because I figure, I can take like a wipe. I can take something and I can clean on the inside or do something like that. If I find that pair of shoes that is just, I can't leave them behind, I will do something to make them feel clean enough for me to wear. So anyway, I went and I looked through the shoes and I found a beautiful pair of platform heeled Ralph Lauren brown suede boots. And I'm like, oh, thrifting, please let these be in my size. And they weren't. And I was just like, oh. But they were beautiful. And if you live anywhere near Temecula and you want a pair of awesome brown boots, go to Angel View on Temecula Parkway. They are there and you can grab them and you are welcome. I mean, they are amazing. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to talk about the things that are trending on YouTube. And what I do every morning is I basically go through YouTube and I can see what the top searches are. And the top search today, right now, is, of course, Star Wars. Everything Star Wars. And you know what? It's iconic, and it's just always going to be a part of people's lives. I mean, Star Wars is cool. And so that's trending. And then also, too, I guess, and I'm not going to talk a whole lot about it, but I'm just going to tell you about it. But I guess there's a feud between Carrie Fisher's daughter and the rest of her family in regards to something to do with the Walk of Fame. Which, Hashtag, hello, my friend, which to me is always just sad when I hear things like that because, I don't know. It just, anytime families argue, it makes me sad. But I know sometimes you have toxic family and sometimes you have to alleviate yourself from the toxicity. But deep down inside, it always makes me sad. Dune 2 is now out. And I don't know if any of you saw Dune 1, but I saw it and I liked it. It wasn't Star Wars, but it was an interesting movie. And I know that like a lot of people were saying like it was like a commercial for Zendaya because she just constantly was like looking over her shoulder. But you know what? For a movie, it was entertaining and I liked it. And I will watch the second one. And sometimes I think that we forget that movies are just entertainment. And to me, it was entertaining. Yes, I will watch the second one. In fact, I will watch the first one again before I watch the second one because it's been a while since the first one has been out. And I want to remember everything that I saw. So that is out. There's all sorts of things about sports because I don't know. It just seems like sports always dominate like what's trending on YouTube. And then another thing that's trending, and this has been out for a while, but I think it's really cute because I really do like her. But Millie Bobby Brown is engaged, and she's engaged to Bon Jovi's son. And I think that is so cute and sweet. And I like to hear things like that because I think, I don't know, for as quirky as I am definitely a romantic at heart. And I just really hope that, I hope that they get married and they stay together forever and they have beautiful babies and she just has a beautiful life. And I just, like I said, I think that that's really cool. Now, what's trending on TikTok is I am, for some reason, I don't know TikTok, for some reason am stuck in this like side of TikTok algorithm where the only thing that I am seeing is like people acting a fool, people acting up and being mean to each other. And I'm like, I don't want to see this TikTok. Take me somewhere away. Calgon, take me away. So I am actively just trying to get on the other side, any other side of TikTok. So what I'm doing is I'm actively just like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. Yes, I know it happens. And yes, I know people cannot be kind to each other, but I don't want to see it. That's just the whole thing is I'll be going along my feed and I'll be like, oh, cute puppy. Oh my God, look at this baby goat. And next thing you know, somebody's like beating somebody up in a Baskin Robbins. And I'm like, no, I don't want to see that. So I'm actively trying to get myself out of that algorithm. And then, yes, up and running things from home. I got this all dialed in. So I have been, the way you get out of like this TikTok kind of algorithm kind of situation is you have to search other things. You have to like other things. You have to engage with other things in order for it to take you to other parts. So what I have done is I like to see animals. Animals are my favorite people besides you all. But I like to just sit there and be like, you know what, I'm going to take 5 minutes and I'm going to relax and I'm going to look at some baby goats. And so I've been searching animals and I came across this creator on TikTok. And he's a guy in Florida who literally walks around the Everglades in Florida barefoot picking up things. And I'm like, dude, you are doing the epitome of everything that I'm absolutely terrified of doing. And I'm just like, I am so all about this. I cannot stop watching him, even though everything he picks up, I'm scared to death of. So his name, I wrote down his name, and his name is, it is either, now it can be two different things. It's okay. His username is Fishin Garrett. All right. So it's Fishin, Fishin, and then Garrett, Garrett. So he's either Fishing Garrett or he's Fishin Garrett. But either way, he picks scary things up in the Everglades. And I am like, I have never seen so many different variations of snakes, of spiders. And he goes walking through the water and he's like, oh, look, there's an alligator. And I, with no shoes on. And I am just, like I said, I'm intrigued. I'm scared. I'm mortified, but I can't stop watching. And so to me, when I say what's trending on TikTok right now, what's trending on TikTok is Fishin' Garrett and his adventures through the swamps of the Everglades in Florida. And I have to tell you, Florida, I'm going to tell you right now, hats off to you because I have never seen more variations of scary wildlife in one condensed area as to when I actually see TikToks from Florida. You all are like, hey, look, I'm having a picnic and here comes an alligator. And I'm like, are you serious? You'll be like, oh, you know what? I'm driving into the store and there's a snake on my windshield. And I'm like, I used to be scared of Australia. I think you are like Australia in the United States. You know what? You have scary snakes, you have big spiders, and you have crocodiles. So to me, again, just this gal from California who freaks out when she sees a tiny little spider. Hats off to you. You guys have got more. Bravery in your little pinky than I do in my entire body. You know what? You can make fun of me all day long. You can call me a city girl all you want. I will take it because you know what? That stuff is scary. And I'm not going to do it. So, yeah, Yeah, you know what? And like I said, that is what I've been seeing. There's some other stuff that I've been seeing, but again, you know what? It's all kind of like I don't know. Everybody tells on everybody and all of that, and I just don't want to do it. I don't want to be that kind of person. So it is raining again in California. It's May. I'm in Southern California. I'm supposed to be wearing, shorts and cute little dresses and getting outside and enjoying the fresh sunshine. And unfortunately, today it's going to be raining all day long. And the high today is going to be, I think, 59 or 60 degrees. So I gave myself some homework, and I gave myself a something I'm going to do because I said I was going to be doing it a earlier this week. But I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch for the very first time. I'm going to watch Fatal Attraction, and I am going to give you my honest review of it tomorrow. I've never seen it. I know in theory what it's all about. I mean, it's about a lady and a guy who have an affair. He tries to break it off. She doesn't want to, and a bunny gets hurt. That's all I know about the movie. And I am really interested. Yeah. And Wicked City Woman, I mean, I know it's super popular, but I've never seen it. And I am so weird when it comes to things like that because like I remember when Forrest Gump came out and that was super popular. I didn't see it because I'm like I don't want to see it. If everybody else wants to see it, I don't want to see it. So I didn't watch Forrest Gump until like years after it came out. The same thing with the Titanic. I was like, no, everybody wants to see it, so I'm going to be different and I'm not going to watch it while it's in the movie theater. And so I watched it when it finally at home. So I feel like I have done the same thing with Fatal Attraction. And I was like, no, I'm not going to watch it because everybody wants to watch it. And I think I have missed out on a really good movie for all of these years. So I am going to put on some comfy pajamas. Today's going to be a pajama day. My outfit is pretty comfortable right now, but I am going to put on some pajamas, like an oversized sweatshirt, and I'm going to watch the movie. And I'm going to give myself that sort of just reprieve of, however long the movie is. That's going to be my little me time. Now, Golf Widow 52 on TikTok just asked me what my favorite movie is. And for a very, very, very long time, I said my favorite movie was The African Queen with Katharine Hepburn and Humphrey Bogart. I think it's a beautiful love story. It is just, I don't know, there's just something about The African Queen that just gets to me. Love that movie. Then after that, for years, I always said Forrest Gump. I love that movie. I can watch it over and over and over again. I absolutely love Forrest Gump. Now I have to say, without a doubt, my favorite movie is Jojo the Rabbit. And it is a beautifully made movie that pulls on my heartstring all the time. And it's just that kind of movie where I can watch. If I feel like I want a good cry, I'll watch it. But it's such a great movie. It is such a great movie. And then also, too, I am a huge fan of Wes Anderson. Now, if you've never seen a Wes Anderson movie, you have to watch them. I think his cinematography, his storyline, the way he puts his movies together is just so inspirational. And my favorite Wes Anderson movie is actually the Derringer Express, where the three brothers are on the train. I'm not gonna blow the ending like I did for RuPaul season 5 Drag Race, but it's about three brothers who take a trip through India on a train, and there is a scene that is just so powerful. And I'm just going to explain this one scene. So if you haven't seen it, yours is Moonrise Kingdom. Asteroid City. I know, I saw that trailer. But the scene that I want to talk about that really just takes my breath away is that the three brothers they're off the train, and the entire movie they're carrying around their father's suitcases. He had just multiple suitcases, and they take them everywhere. Every scene that they're at, every time they get off the train, every stop they're at, they have to just deal with all of these suitcases. Then towards the end of the movie, they're running for the train, and they're trying to carry all of these suitcases with them. And they're running and they're running. And as they're running, they're letting go of the suitcases. Their suitcases are flying everywhere. And when they let the suitcases go, they run a little bit faster. And then they let another one go. And finally, they let all of the suitcases go and they get on the train. And for me, that is such a powerful representation of letting go of the things in your life that weigh you down and hold you back, and just having the freedom of letting it go. Sometimes we get so hung up on our past, and our past is always with us. I have a very difficult past, and I can't, my past is always going to be a part of who I am, but it's not my baggage. I don't carry it with me as a burden. It just helped develop me as to who I am today. So check out this movie. Again, it's the Derringer Express. It's from Wes Anderson. It has Adrian Brody in it, who was my boy crush before Pedro Pascal. I can't say it with a W because Robert is going to say that I say his last name wrong. But Adrian Brody, who else is in there? Owen Wilson is in there. And it's just beautiful. Just a beautiful movie. And then my second favorite Wes Anderson movie is The Isle of Dogs. And that one is a cartoon. But I can watch that every single day. I love that movie. And to me, it doesn't have as much of a kind of like huge, doesn't have quite the same visual impact as the train one, but it's a great movie. And even though it's a cartoon, it's a great cartoon. And as I said here, oh, you haven't seen Isle of Dogs? You have to watch Isle of Dogs. If you are a Wes Anderson fan, you will absolutely enjoy the storytelling. You will enjoy the way that the animation looks, the characters. I mean, you have the same sort of like attachment to the cartoon characters as you do the real life characters in his movies. Now, there is a trend. Talking about TikTok, there is a trend on TikTok saying like, you film a TikTok like a Wes Anderson movies. One of my favorite things to see, the creativity that comes out of it is amazing. But I decided that I was going to take that trend and go one step further, and I was going to live my life like a Wes Anderson movie. I was going to live my life with a soundtrack that is very unique in myself. I was going to live my life in the most colorful way possible. And when I'm out filming like my shopping adventures or my thrifting, I film it. I purposely am taking video and I am purposely filming it as a Wes Anderson movie. I mean, I have added more like me just standing there holding something kind of thing where you can take a moment. The music that I'm picking is quirkier because I like that. And, just the cinematography, I probably said that wrong because I see all sorts of things wrong, that they, I'm just trying to live my life more like Wes Anderson movie. I can see Indy curled up on the couch with you while watching it. Yes. You know what? And that's just the whole thing. Here's the thing is, Brandon has moved back. I've said that before. I'm absolutely excited that he's moved back. And with Brandon came Pam. Now, Pam is Brandon's 7-pound adopted, rescued little kitty cat who looks exactly like Indy. She's gray. She has the white chest and the white paws. So I have the 80-pound pit bull and then the 7-pound kitty cat that look just alike. And Indy is absolutely fascinated with Pam. She just wants to be like, hey, wherever Pam's at, this is where I'm going to be. And equally so with Brandon. I mean, Indy wakes up in the morning. She's like, hey, you know what? I'll see you later. I'm going to go hang out with Brandon. So I have lost my little movie watching buddy for a while because you know what? She's hanging out with Pam. And that's okay because that's what they need to do. But they have done so well together. I am over the moon on how well Indy is doing with Pam. No aggression, just curiosity. And I couldn't be happier with that. That's fun. Yes, it is so much fun. And, you know, it's just, again, it's like one of those days. I looked at the weather. It's going to be warm like a week from Saturday. So I am super excited to start sharing with you a little bit more of my summer fashion. I really, really, really want to push my fashion this year. Indy, come here. And there she is. She always makes... Indy, come here. My little baby grew up to be quite a big watchdog. Come here, girl. So yeah, that was Indy. She's got quite a bark on her. So I really am going to be pushing my fashion this year. I want to wear those things that I have been holding myself back from wearing because I was telling myself for one reason or the other I couldn't wear it. Whether it was my age, my weight, my height, whatever it was, there was something even I was telling myself, I was stopping myself from wearing things that I really wanted to wear. So when I tell you all to wear what you want, it's because I really want to, when I tell you to wear what you want, it encourages me to wear what I want. So I'm going to be doing some more. I'm going to show you my stomach a little bit more. I mean, I have a tattoo on my stomach that y'all never see. And I have tattoos, 2 calf sleeves that you all rarely see. So I'm going to be wearing shorts. So we will definitely, no more Posh account. Nope. No, Golf Widow. I closed out my Poshmark account. Poshmark, like a lot of the other platforms, kind of changed. And they changed to the point where you kind of had to go live to sell your stuff. Everything was all secret auction this, or you have to go live and show this. And truthfully, with a number of platforms I have and everything going on, I didn't have the energy and I didn't have the time to be like, here's a top, you know, size medium. So, you know, I took a loss, I wrote it off, and I donated everything back to Goodwill. You know, it was I wanted to give back, and actually they went to Goodwill and it went to Angel View. And I closed out my account. And I've heard that the same thing has happened on Etsy, that they have kind of changed their algorithm also, and they're making it very difficult for sellers to sell things on Etsy. So a lot of them are actually selling things on TikTok now. So I don't know. It's really weird. Since I've been doing the social media full time, a lot of things have changed. You know, Instagram and Facebook no longer have monetization. TikTok, I just changed from the creator account to a different kind of beta account. YouTube, I mean, I absolutely love YouTube, and that's my main account for monetization. And it's things are changing, and as things change, I have to change. I have to grow and shift as life grows and shifts. So that was it. That was my May 4th. May the 4th be with you. There you go. I said it right this time. I am going to go and do some editing. I'm not going anywhere today. Indy and I are going to have a day at home in the cold rain. I'm going to get my baby Yoda, and we are going to watch our Fatal Attraction. I really hope that everybody says it's good, and I have high hopes that it's going to be good. And I will be back tomorrow with my Fatal Attraction review. And we'll do some other fun stuff. We will look at some other fun things. I finally have my second monitor up. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to be taking a look at some cute fashion that I found, because I have been finding a lot of cute things on Zara, on H&M, and Free People. So I think tomorrow we're going to do that. Oh, and also too, I do want to let you know, I have been finding, in fact, I think this is what we'll do tomorrow. I have found on a couple of websites how you can buy used items. You can buy used items from Free People, and you can buy used items from H&M. And it's something that I didn't know about. It's something that I stumbled on. I have bought some things from the used items on Free People. So I'll show you what I bought, and we'll talk about that along with the review of Fatal Attraction. So I will see you all tomorrow. Remember, be bright, be bold, be brave, and may the 4th be